So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Brexit again. Depending on scheduling, hopefully this video isn't out of date by the time I've put it up. I've released it publicly. But EU leaders close ranks as number 10 as no deal talks mount. So what's basically happened here is the Boris Johnson has basically tried to bypass von der Leyen and go straight to talking to EU leaders, which was I think it was David Davis's original plan, which was to talk to the leaders of different countries and try and sort of undermine the EU, which hasn't worked, which I don't think ever has actually worked. And also we're going to be talking about a few of the problems that Boris Johnson has kind of created through his stupidity. So Boris Johnson's declaration that he would go to Paris, travel to Berlin, do whatever it takes to reach a deal was quietly rebuffed again by the EU on Friday. This article is from Katie Adler, so credit to her. Normally, after big summits like the one we've just had in Brussels, leaders make media statements about their most pressing discussions: climate change, COVID, relations with Turkey, and they all featured prominently at the summit. Brexit was hardly mentioned. There's no denying that the prospect of the pain of no deal with the UK certainly weighs on EU minds. A German think tank has estimated that up to 700,000 European jobs could be at risk. But Europe's leaders are keen to clarify they won't personally intervene in the current impasse in trade talks. There'll be no last-minute handshake or aha moment in Paris, Warsaw, Berlin. And so basically, what this means is these leaders of nation states are telling the UK that stop trying to undermine the EU by going to the leaders of nation states here and talk to the EU representatives. In this case is Ursula von der Leyen and Michel Barnier. Behind the scenes, of course, leaders are involved in discussions with their negotiators, but they don't want face-to-face or ear-to-ear with Boris Johnson in public. EU countries are joined together in their single market, so they don't want to be seen. None of these EU leaders want to be seen as undermining the single market. So no individual leader, not even the most powerful ones in France and Germany, can be perceived to be making political compromises that could clinch the UK a deal. Concessions will impact the whole single market and therefore all member states as a collective. Just this week, Elise Palace, I probably butchered that name, spokesman described as not desirable the idea of a visit or bilateral call between the Prime Minister and Emmanuel Macron in these last days, and the French President underlined again on Friday that the EU countries were united behind the European Commission negotiating with the UK on their behalf, and so the EU are basically putting up a united front. And there was a bit about a phone call somewhere. So we know that Boris Johnson, I don't think it's mentioned in this article, let's see if we can find it. So Boris Johnson phoned or tried to call Angela Merkel. She didn't answer because she knew he wanted to talk about Brexit. He also tried to talk to Emmanuel Macron, which didn't actually work either. And so what we can gather from this is Boris Johnson's attempts at divide and conquer simply aren't working. His also blatant kind of nationalism isn't working either on the EU. And he also, I didn't catch this first on. A lot of, people on Twitter talked about it. So I'm not 100% sure on this one, on the interpretation of this one. So I'll give you what people have said and I'll tell you what I think. So Boris Johnson put kind of a briefing out to the some of the gutter press, where they basically said that Merkel wants Britain to crawl across broken glass, which a lot of people seem to think that it's a reference to the Night of Broken Glass, which is obviously something the Nazis did to the Jews in Nazi Germany. I think it was during the 1930s. And so I'm not sure if Boris Johnson here is referencing the Night of Broken Glass here. A lot of people on Twitter seem to think so, so you can interpret that how you want to interpret that. I'm not going to tell you what it means, but I can tell you that I'm not 100% sure on that one. So that's the article there. And so, what we can tell from this is that, Boris Johnson, the talks are ongoing. The UK and EU to go the extra mile in an effort to agree a deal. So, this article from today, so this is the 13th of December. So we'll see what happens in the ongoing days. But basically, the same sticking points are there. The same sticking points, which are a level playing field and fishing. So, I don't think this will go much further. I think this is kind of Boris Johnson's attempt to save face here, saying that, we did our best. We went absolutely to the wire, but the EU refused to give us a deal and treat us like a sovereign country. I think something like that's going to happen. So anyways, that's kind of what's happened so far with the EU leaders closing ranks. And I think it's important that the EU, at least for the EU, shows a united front here, not being undermined by any one nation state. I know that the UK tried to play Hungary and tried to get them involved. I think it was last year, to get them to veto an extension or something like that, and that didn't actually happen. So what you can tell from this video, I guess the point of this video is to say that Boris Johnson's attempts to undermine the EU by contacting individual nation states leaders hasn't worked. Boris Johnson's kind of crass kind of words here, saying that Merkel wants Britain to crawl across broken glass, could be seen as a reference to the the night of broken glass, not the night of long knives. That's a different incident. The night of broken glass, where a load of Jewish businesses had their windows and things smashed in. Their businesses smashed in basically by the Nazis. At least that's what I remember of the night of broken glass. The last time I've read about it. So I don't know if Boris Johnson is referencing that, or if he's saying that the EU expects us to walk across broken glass to kind of as a punishment for us leaving. Your interpretation is probably as good as mine, to be honest. And sort of the UK and the EU still, negotiating, which I don't see the point in this anymore. I think you might as well tell businesses and people, get ready, no deal, buckle up, because this is happening. I'm not sure why. I think neither side wants to be seen as the bad person in this one. They don't want to be seen as the one that pulled out of negotiations and want to be the person who looks bad. But I think that'll be a position of strength, saying that, look, the other side won't give the concessions we want. We've got a few weeks left to prepare for this. No deal was happening. Buckle up, and we'll see, if the other side are willing to come to the negotiating table next year when things get real, once the rubber hits the road. So I think that'll be probably the better position for one of the sides to take, because this stuff going to the wire is just giving people false hope. At least if you give them a couple of weeks, they can actually properly prepare. I'm talking more specifically on the UK side, because there are still people in the UK that think a deal could still happen. And we'll get a magic Canada plus minus XX up down left right deal. So anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.